We have some Transformers Super 7 items that have shown up in a warehouse for Target. This comes courtesy of Transformer fan Zodiac 1968 340. That's a lot of numbers. It seems that we got a update of brand new Super 7 product unannounced, as well as a mystery item from Super 7 that I kind of have figured what this is probably going to be in a reflection of what we're going to have of non-transformable Super 7 stuff in the future. I'll get into it in a moment. So we have some reaction stuff, brand new wave. All of them consist of repaints of previously existing molds that we've gotten up to this point, just variations of those. And we'll go through them and where they came from and the story with them. First one we got is the Ghost of Starscream, of course, Season 3, G1. And it's just using the Starscream Super 7 mold that we got from Wave 1 back in 2020, almost 5 years ago now. But now in the clear treatment to give that Ghost of Starscream kind of look with it with sparkles. I'm surprised it took them this long to do it, considering they did that with the Ultimates version right out of the gate. But hey, now you got your Ghost Starscream to 3 1/4 inch, so pretty cool. We got the metallic Grimlock in Dino mode using the reaction Dino mode Grimlock from 2021. What's odd about this one is it looks exactly like the card. This is like a card back version of the San Diego Comic-Con 2024 boxed version that we got a month ago. It looks like they just kind of took the same product, used it for SDCC in a boxed version that also, they also shipped it along with the Reaction Unicron. And then they are now going to use it as a carded version, I guess. I mean, let's be real. The Unicron that we got at San Diego Comic-Con was a repack of the carded version. So I guess it's no surprise that the Grimlock here too, while we got it first at SDCC, is now going to get a carded version in what looks like Target here. I'm surprised they didn't do it. I mean, they could have gave it blue eyes just to make a mild variation for completists and collectors. But at the same time, I kind of get it from the business standpoint, because that would be a whole separate production run with factories. And, it's just much easier to make a bunch of units with the red eyes, plan a bunch of boxed ones for SDCC, and make the rest for retail. So, yeah, if you missed the San Diego Comic-Con version, you're in luck. It's going to be in retail, and you could get it here carded, and then you could bust it out and have it in your collection. But it gets even weirder, because now we got here what they label as a Rumble, but it's clearly a toy-accurate red Rumble, and that's fine. I mean, if your Rumble is red, that's fine. But it's been since 5 years since we got the other guy, and the other guy who was blue was also called Rumble. So, yeah, what's going on here? I mean, I get it that, in your collection, you'll have both of these guys loose, and you could decide who your Rumble and Frenzy is, and you could fight over that. But with packaging names, I mean, why not just call it Frenzy? Was it so long since they did that Rumble, again, almost 5 years ago, that they forgot what they named the first one, and they just called this one Rumble too? Very weird. I don't know. Just let me know what you think about that. And the last one, we saved the best for last, because this is actually one that I'm pretty cool with. Pretty much how we got the prototype G1 1986 Unicron through the reaction line in Super 7. Now we're going to getting a prototype G1 86 Arcee, taking the Arcee mold from the Super 7 Reactions Arcee that we got in 2021 and giving it that 1986 prototype color treatment. Seems to be the common trend we've been getting recently, because we have that missing link one that we talked about a few days ago, and now we got this one here. You know what, man? This should have been the boxed SDCC 2024 item along with Unicron instead of the Grimlock. Man, having that in a G1 style box, that would have been so cool. So cool. But c'est la vie de Arcee. It can't be helped. So the last item we're going to be covering, of course, is that mystery item. And the mystery item is something that was found again in the Target warehouse, which was this VHS style box that's labeled DX Megatron Deluxe Super Articulated Spectacular Figure. And the box itself is kind of this interesting fusion of two different styles of VHS boxes. It uses the overall kind of design and shape from the UK VHS style boxes that we had of Transformers, but uses the art from the Megatron's Master Plan 90s VHS reissues that we got back in the late 90s, the tapes of those. So it kind of takes a fusion of the two, and it also crops out Thrust being on that cover because Thrust was never in that episode and would not be for a whole other season. And even has, this figure is called the Super Deluxe Spectacular figure, and the spectacular part, it sounds like such a silly name, but the spectacular part actually comes from the UK cover that says Spectacular on it. So it's kind of this weird fusion of the two, very much a deep cut by Super 7, like they always do with the crazy deep cuts and stuff. But what is inside this box? What is potentially, going to be sold here? This DX Megatron Deluxe Super Articulated Spectacular figure. Well, I think I have an idea of what it is, because we're seeing what's going on with Super 7 right now with their Ultimates line, specifically what's going on with their Thundercats Ultimates line. So Super 7, their Ultimates line, they do it across all these different brands and stuff. They've done it with Transformers, but they did one with Thundercats. And they had the Super 7 Ultimates Thundercats line. They were $55 a piece, and they came with a whole bunch of accessories and a whole bunch of stuff, just like all our other Super 7 Ultimates. And recently we saw that showing up in Target, they have Super 7 Ultimates Thundercat stuff, but they're stripped down completely. They have most of the accessories taken away, all the extra heads gone, all the extra hands, just the core figure, one head sculpt on the body, and one or two iconic weapons to go with it, and they sell it at $35 on a blister card as opposed to a fancy box that the Ultimates normally come in. So I think what's going on here is they probably took that Transformers Wave 2 Super 7 Ultimates Megatron that we got, that was jam-packed with a whole bunch of accessories, a whole bunch of, dare I say, unnecessary stuff and quite niche stuff that I would appreciate, but at the same time, it's not going to be used on our displays. We're not really going to use most of those extra hands, pieces, and everything. So they probably took that Megatron, stripped it down of most of that stuff, just kept the core figure with the arm cannon, and then included one or two accessories. The Energon Mace, and then, I guess maybe Kremzik, just to kind of fill it out, everything. And then we'll probably also ask a $35 price point. Both of these versions, both the Thundercats one here, this carded one, says DX on the top of the box. This one says DX also. So something's going on here. I get a feeling this is a way that Super 7, that's kind of right now having problems with their Ultimates line across all the different brands, a way to kind of take all that tooling that they did and find a second use for it in the retail space and put out this Megatron. Maybe we'll see an Optimus later, maybe a Starscream. Again, strip them down, just include their key accessories, and put it on the shelves at $35 a piece. Look at what we just talked about now, the Reaction 3-inch stuff. It's all repaints. It's all using previous tooling to make the best of it. Maybe now they're looking at their Ultimates line with the 6-inch and kind of looking at how do they work that into the retail space and not make it too expensive. So we're going to probably see a $35 Megatron on the shelves in a VHS packaging. That's at least what I think is going to be going on here. And, well, it's going to fill the void of non-transformable, hyper-articulated Transformers that kind of left when the Transformers RED line kind of folded from Hasbro. So that's it, more or less. Let me know what you think about all of these. I mean, I dig the Arcee. That's pretty cool. And I'm very curious what they're going to be doing with this VHS packaging DX stuff for Transformers. And it probably will be, that 6-inch Super 7 Ultimate stuff, which I love them, by the way. They're really good. I bought them all on clearance, but I bought them, and they're great. But at the same time, they need to figure out a way to do something with it, because I love what Super 7 does. They really, scratch my itch when it comes to the weird stuff. But at the same time, it's the pricing that's always been their biggest flaw. And now they might have found a way to work it into retail with that. Let me know what you think about all of this, and we'll talk again really soon here on the Transformer Slag podcast. It's the beginning of the week here in our Transformer world, and we still got plenty more to talk about. I'll talk to you in the near future.